Hey guys, Dr. Berg here. In this video, I want to talk about cancer and what I would eat if I had cancer. Okay, but first, let me just cover some facts. Number one, cancer depends on glycolysis. What does that mean? That means that cancer depends on the metabolism of sugar. It runs on sugar metabolism. Okay, the uptake of glucose is 10 to 12 times more for cancer than it is for normal cells. So again, cancer will suck up the glucose more than normal cells. That's interesting. Glucose will increase tumor growth, okay? Because it's probably because it triggers insulin, which is anabolic. It builds things up. It makes things get bigger. High blood sugar levels will increase the risk of breast cancer. Interesting. PET scans, which are basically called positron emission tomography, is they inject you with radioactive glucose, and the cancer cells like have a frenzy and they eat up all this glucose, and you can find out where they are, okay, because of this fact. So based on this, what do you think you're going to avoid if you have cancer? What is the number one thing? Can you take a wild guess? It's sugar, of course. So basically, I am already eating as if I have cancer. And I'll cover that in a second, but I just wanted to mention another pointer. There's an organization called the American Cancer Society. Okay, they're kind of like the opinion leaders of what to do when you have cancer. What you want to do is you want to read their site, study what they recommend, and do the exact opposite. Let me tell you why. This is what they tell you to do. Stay out of the sun. Well, how are you going to get your vitamin D? Vitamin D is so important in building up your immune system. And no, the sun is not a problem, okay? This is another thing they said. Men should consume no more than 2 drinks a day, alcoholic drinks per day, and women shouldn't drink more than 1. So they're going to allow you to do 2 drinks or even 1 every single day if you have cancer. Does that make sense? No, you want to drink 0 alcohol if you have cancer. They say that no evidence that GMO foods are harmful. Well, they have to say that politically because they're probably funded by Monsanto. But we know that GMO is harmful and it does cause cancer. They recommend 2.5 cups of vegetables per day. 2.5 cups? That's not going to do anything. You need like 7 to 10 cups. They tell you to reduce your sugar. Well, that's good, but we need to eliminate the sugar because of this. Okay? We want to starve off that cancer, or at least slow it down. They also said that there's no evidence that organic food is healthier than commercial food. Well, what about all the pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides? If you look at any toxicology book, you'll see that that stuff triggers cancer. Interesting. So what do we need to do? We need to avoid all sugars, and that includes the refined breads and pastas and cereals. We need to avoid that. Why? Because the cancer lives on that stuff. Number 2, cruciferous vegetables. Now, of course, all my videos, I'm pretty much telling you to do this. Cruciferous vegetables, kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cabbage, all those foods are highly effective in improving the immune system and supporting the immune system, and they're very anti-cancer, okay? The World Health Organization, has this book. I should do a video on it. It shows you all the research that it's done on cancer. It's amazing. But there's not a lot of profit in it. Now, garlic, out of all the foods that you can eat, garlic is the top food for anti-cancer properties. So that's something that you should also start consuming. Lots of vitamin D from the sun. Yeah, absolutely. And grass-fed animal products. You don't want to do commercial because primarily the feeds. They feed these animals GMO grains, specifically soy. So you want to not consume animals that consume that because I believe that affects cancer, puts you at risk. And I think the last thing I would do, which doesn't have nothing to do with eating, and I'm going to do a whole video on this, and it's you're going to have to figure out how you're going to drop your stress way down, because I do know that stress can activate cancer. If you talk to people that get cancer, a lot of times it happens after a stress event. It just kicks in the whole cascade. Our bodies are constantly battling cancer cells. There's a normal thing in our body called apoptosis, which is the normal programmed cell death. And we're constantly killing between 30 250 billion cells every single day as a normal thing. They keep everything in check so it doesn't get out of control. And it's the out of control nature of that system that happens with cancer. But putting these things in will definitely act as a preventative measure and slow it down and help you control it. So anyway, put your comments below. Tell me what you think. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Please click the subscribe button and I will see you in the next video.